Welcome back everyone, Mark here from Elite Duels bringing a new video. Today we're going to be breaking down Group B from Blast Premier Spring this weekend, looking at my picks, parlays, and fantasy team. Stay tuned to the end of the video for a giveaway announcement. We're going to release a new video each week, so make sure you subscribe. Before we get into things, let's do a quick recap of last week's Group A. FaZe looked great, going a perfect 3-0, failing to lose a single map and moving on to winning Group A. Liquid showed a bit of rust. As you could tell, they haven't been scrimming any Tier 1 teams due to the fact that there isn't really any equivalent talent in North America at the moment. Nonetheless, they still finished second in Group A. NIP looked fantastic. As stated in the previous video, I believe with more time, they easily could have competed with FaZe and Liquid. Looking back at my picks, I was pretty accurate. The first two matches, I was relatively confident I would get those right, and we did. We also got the NIP versus MIBR match correct. From there, I would have been perfect if I swapped FaZe with Liquid, but with all early events in the year, there's not much to gauge from in terms of who's in form and versus who's not. So we go based off of how 2019 finished. I went 3-2 in my bracket, and we also won our bet on FaZe versus NIP, NIP versus MIBR, and Liquid versus NIP. We lost our Group A Liquid pick, but overall, we're up on the weekend. Let's take a quick look at each team's fantasy performances, starting with MIBR and NIP. Very balanced for NIP. Looking forward to watching them more as they grow together. MIBR starts 2020 just as they finished 2019. Poor performances all around. I guess you could say the most shocking performance would be Fallen, the only player with a positive KD throughout the entire Group A event, and led his team in fantasy points. Moving forward to Liquid, Twist leading the way, followed by Stewie. A bit of a surprise with how poor Elige played this weekend, but with more time I believe he'll be coming back to form very quickly. FaZe looked fantastic. An all-around great team performance. Nico followed up with his tweet and led Group A with 108.5 fantasy points. Brokey looked fantastic as well with the op, and looks like he's going to be a star on this team. Very exciting to see FaZe playing well again. Let's hope they keep it up. Now let's move on to Group B. Group B features number 1 ranked in the world Astralis, Navi, Vitality, and Complexity. Our first match is Navi versus Vitality. Both teams are coming in with no designated favorite in terms of the current money line. In my opinion, I would give a slight edge to Navi as they're recently coming off of competing against some of the top teams at Ice Challenge, while Vitality's last match was December 22nd, 2019 at Epicenter, over a month ago. If we can learn something from the results of Group A, it would be to take teams that have been playing recently. Navi currently sit number 8 in the world and are coming off back-to-back victories at the Ice Challenge, defeating Godsent 2-1 and OG 2-0. They won both matches with Electronic and Boomich leading the way. Vitality entered the contest 2 spots ahead of Navi at number 6 and going a perfect 4-0 at Epicenter 2019. However, as mentioned previously, their last professional contest was over a month ago, and we could see a bit of rust in their first matchup against Navi, similar to how Liquid looked like against FaZe. My prediction is a 2-1 series victory in favor of Navi. I'm giving them the slight edge as they've already competed in 2020 against relatively top competition, while Vitality has yet to play. Moving on to our second match of the day, Astralis versus Complexity. No surprises here. Astralis enters this matchup massive favorites and come into the event ranked number 1 in the world. They're coming off another successful season, winning a total of 6 events, including the major in Berlin and Katowice. They had 4 players finish in the top 20 of 2019. There's really not much more to add to this. They are the clear favorites not only to win this match, but win Group B quite easily. I believe if Navi or Vitality come into the event in top form, they could challenge Astralis in this group, but I still find them to be the clear favorites. Complexity enter the group as the final seed and currently ranked 44 in the world. Although they're ranked relatively low, one positive is that they've been very active in early 2020, competing in 11 matches with a record of 7-4, with wins over the likes of Gen G, Chaos, and INTZ, which are most likely all considered Tier 2 professional teams. Nonetheless, this is a very competitive group, and many considering it the group of death. Unfortunately for Complexity, they find themselves in the group with 3 CSGO giants. My prediction is a decisive 2-0 victory for Astralis. Here's the rest of my picks for the weekend. In the upper bracket final, I have Navi versus Astralis, with Astralis winning that 2-0. In the lower bracket, round 1, I have Complexity versus Vitality, with Vitality winning 2-1. In the lower bracket final, I have Navi defeating Vitality again 2-1. And in the Group B finals, I have Astralis defeating Navi 2-1. And now my bets for the weekend. I really like Astralis, but currently they're so heavily favored, it's difficult to put any money on them. So this is what I will be doing. I will be taking the Navi money line at -120 in the first matchup. You could parlay Navi with Astralis, but the multiplier doesn't make much sense, so let's just stick with Navi. I'll also be taking Astralis to win Group B at -250, but I'm also going to be putting some money on Navi, currently paying +550 to win the group. I'll be live betting Astralis as much as possible if the odds are good. Let's take a close look at what the community is saying. Currently, we're seeing Navi being slight favorites at 53% of the vote. I think we'll likely see this move if Navi finishes the Ice Challenge strong or even win the event. So as you can see, Navi 53% over Vitality 47, slight favorites. Well, no surprising here in match 2, Astralis are 95% favorites against Complexity. Fantasy time on Elite Duels. Currently, we're offering a contest for Groups B and C only. In Tier 1, I'm looking at Simple, ZywOo, and Device. The safe pick here being Device. We know ZywOo and Simple are 1 and 2 in the world and are fantasy machines. In Tier 1, I'm going to favor Simple. I believe he's just getting warmed up at the Ice Challenge, and we're going to see him in full form this weekend. In Tier 2, I really like Hunter, JKS, and Magisk. I'm going to favor Hunter here. I believe we're going to see a lot of competitive matches in Group C, which means more rounds and more fantasy points. Tier 3, I'm going to Dupree, no questions asked. I always like having one player from Astralis in my team, and they usually serve as my anchor. This weekend, I may even take 2 of them. In Tier 4, I'm looking at Boomage, Glaive, and Nexa. If Glaive was in Tier 5, I'd be taking him, no questions asked, but there's only so many kills to go around for Astralis, and they usually go to the other 4 members. I'm going to be taking a risk in Tier 4 and take Boomage. He's coming off back-to-back fantastic performances in the Ice Challenge, and I think he's going to be low-owned. Finally, the hardest tier, Tier 5. A lot of players, but not a lot of viable fantasy options. You've got the potential and top fragging abilities from Jax, Shox, and RPK. That being said, I'm going with Shox, and I hope he can stay around a 1 KD, just stay even for me throughout the weekend. I really like his chances of being the second best player on that team, and let's hope he follows it up with a very good weekend. And there you have it, guys. Group B breakdown complete. I have Astralis finishing 1 and Navi finishing 2. I did mention a giveaway at the beginning of the video. Here's a little sneak peek. We're going to be doing the giveaway next week, and we'll announce it in our Group C video. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out. Here's a quick look at the standings on Elite Duels after Group A. A lot of these teams have 4 or all 5 players that have played already, so I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot of changes. This is just the top 10 as it stands out of 330 contestants. Here's the top lineup from user Fish. As you can see, he doesn't have any players left, so a lot of opportunity for you guys who picked anyone from Group B and Group C. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for our next video and breakdown of Group C next week. Thank you. Peace.
Are you a gamer looking for something more than just playing? Introducing Elite Duels, the world's first skill-based daily fantasy esports platform that allows you to make your own fantasy esport team, cheer your favorite professional gamer, earn fantasy points, and win real cash. You can choose and enter a contest for games like Fortnite, CSGO, Rocket League, and Rainbow Six Siege. Simply enter a contest, select 5 players, 1 from each tier to fill out your fantasy team, and start cheering. Sounds amazing, right? Visit www.eliteduels.com and start drafting.